Yeah.
They got to regroup. They need 2-3 days off.
Well, they do.
That's right.
Still celebrating their first conference tournament title since 1986.
Yes.
Thoughts on going back to Pittsburgh, and is that a good thing with you and the two players, or is that a distraction?
Well, I'll lock into that game. You know, obviously we got to do work now and before we go up there. But no, I got my high school coach, my college coach, friends that I grew up with. I mean, they know I'm on a business trip. It's not for funsies. But I'll get to see most of my close relatives are not there anymore. So I got some cousins, an aunt maybe or two, but that's about it. So Ellen and I lived in a house back there. I said, "Do you want to stay there?" He's like, "No, I'm staying there." Right on a highway.
From like for just to get tickets, hopefully see you while you're there if they can.
My phone was buzzing, but I didn't look at it, so I imagine it's all of them. And they want free tickets. They don't want just tickets. Yeah, they're just, yeah. I probably could give away half the house there.
Coach, what do you know about Oakland? I assume maybe not a lot, but what can you tell us about?
Yeah, no, Greg Campy and I are really good friends. We go way back. He's not a good coach. He's a great coach. He's been doing it there for a long time. It's funny, I watched their championship game because it was Greg Campy. And I watched the second half, and they won. And I was cheering. And I told him, he and I have already gone back and forth, and I go, "Look, I'm happy I watched half that game." And I said, "But I'm not going to cheer the way I cheered that day." But he does a good job. He's got good players. He put in the dribble drive after I put it in and had us get together because he wanted to use it, and then they ran it better than we ran it. So he's good at what he does. He could be coaching anywhere. I mean, there are all these jobs open right now. I don't know why someone wouldn't say, "Let's go get Greg Campy." So he's good.
You mentioned you guys go way back. Can you kind of talk a little bit about where that relationship started?
We asked each other to do things. I've done a golf outing for him and different things, and he came in when we've done some of our stuff when I was in Memphis. Goes back then, so I've known him for a long, long time.
Who's the better golfer?
Probably him.
He gives you strokes.
I don't know about that, but I was happy the day we played, it rained. So I didn't have to stay more than 4 holes, got off the course. I told the guys, "Let's go have some beer. Why do you want to golf?" Because I'm supposed to be entertaining people. Yeah, it's raining. Come on, let's go in.
John, at this stage of your career, what does pressure look and feel like for you? I know people are getting antsy because it's been a while.
I don't feel that. Come on now. Come on. I've done this how long? And what's the worst that could happen? It's already happened to me. What's the worst?
Get fired.
That's the worst? I've already been through that. I mean, this ain't about me. This is about these kids. So, that's the reason I try to take all the pressure off them. If it were your child, when we're going into this or any other tournament, "We got to win this. You got to play your best." That's how you want me to coach? Now, there are people that can do that. If they don't do this and they don't do that, they're not fans of this program or these kids. What they're trying to do is put more pressure on them so they don't play well, so they can double down on what they've said. I don't buy into it. My job is to get them fresh and loose, and then be focused and locked down when we practice, and then let's see where it goes. I think I got a good team, but they're going to have to go perform. We did something funny today. Oh, it'll make people mad. We took them bowling. Who they took? Why weren't they playing in that championship? I took them bowling, and we competed against each other. You know who got the one team won? Chin's team. They had Kareem, Reed, Grant, and Ugo. They won. Who was the high scorer? Who do you think rolled the best?
Antonio.
No. Trey over 200. Trey. And I said, why didn't you ever tell us? I'm humble. You're not humble. Why didn't you tell us you were that good? And all we did was laugh and joke, and I just want him to be free and loose. You know what we did downstairs? We watched an unbelievable video of our season and the games we played and the mountains we climbed and our unbelievable fans behind them and enjoying it as the clutter was out there doing this, how about if they don't and if they... Let us just play this tournament and let us all have fun. And if anybody has those things, what if, they're not a fan and they're trying to get this off point. So I'm good. I'm like, let's go. I've done a lot of these. I don't even know how many games I've coached in the NCAA, but it's been a lot. And we lost way more. Oh, no. We've done fine. And I'm looking at this team saying what I've said for how many weeks? We're built for March. Let's go. Let's prove it.
Do you think they could defend in March for 6 games?
We may have a couple tweaks. I got some things I think I'm going to have to try to do. So I got a couple tweaks in mind if a team has guards that just break us down. What else can we do? How about if I put both 7-footers in? It may take away a little offense, but now you got 2 7-footers, a little harder to score at the rim. So there's some different things we can do.
Do you feel like, John, that you have guards that can guard the ball?
No, they gotten so much better. But what happens is a guy scores 1 or 2, and he gets beer muscles, and now he's throwing them on big guys. They made a lot of tough shots. When I watched the tape, we had some breakdowns defensively, got beat to a few balls, had unnecessary turnovers, like 5 or 6, unnecessary, that led for baskets. And then the other thing was we missed some free throws at the end. We never miss. And so now, instead of it being a 2-point game or an even game, it ends up being 6 and missed free throws. And all of a sudden it's 8. But when I watch the tape, I'm like, we'll be all right. You know why? They never stopped fighting. They fought the whole game. Our fans should be excited about it. Now, I feel bad for the fans that went to Nashville to see this team. And I feel bad. But you should have been in the locker room after the game. Dudes were in tears. So anybody that tells you they don't care about that tournament, you look at them and say, you're not telling the truth. They care. I just don't put pressure on them. I say we're playing for a seed. Don't worry about the tournament. Let's play for a seed and win games. It's how I've approached it. If we lose, what am I going to do? I take responsibility. I'm not trying to put this on these kids. Other people are, because they're not fans of ours. They're trying to beat the kids down a little bit. They're trying to get them to think, what if this happens? What if that happens? Do you feel that you have to do? They're not fans of ours. Our fans are rejoicing. We have a heck of a team going into this. Hard draw, but there were a lot of hard draws in that thing. And plus, I didn't watch the other 2 things, so I don't even know what they look like.
Surprised with the 3?
No, because if we could have gotten by that first one, I think we'd have had a 2. Just on what was happening. And then by losing, I thought, we've done so much throughout the year. You can't take away now and say, well, this team won their last 2, so they're above you. When, like in Auburn, who's played great, but we beat them pretty good at their place. And that was 2.5 months ago? No, that was a couple weeks ago. So.
Do you lean on Trey and Antonio a little bit to help kind of get the realization of these kids, the youngsters, what it's like in the tournament?
No, because they barely know too. The whole thing, I've gotten so many messages about how you can look at us getting beat. Again, the people that aren't fans, this is it, this is what we're talking about and all that. They're not fans of ours, they're trying to create stuff. But the others say, you know what? That team played out of their mind, we're going to be fine, and we get some rest. And now we can prepare, and now we go on. We play Thursday. Now we go on with fresh legs because we're freshmen too. Let's go. Now, I want to tell you, the preparation, and I'm not talking X and O's, before our game with A&M, these kids were so locked in and worked so hard in practice and wanted to compete. Like, Coach, let us go at each other. The shoot-around stuff we did in that building 2 times, they missed like 8 shots. I got them out. So it just shows you they did everything they were supposed to. Came up a little short when I watched the tape. I wish we were better in a few situations, but they never stopped playing. People should be ecstatic about this team, ecstatic about how far they've come.
Another question.
Cal, the highlight video down in the basement, is that something you've done in the past? And if not, why did you want this team to see that?
What they saw today after bowling, they had a tape of themselves on their iPad and us being unbelievable defensively. Because you got to admit, there have been games where we've been unbelievable defensively. So what's happening here when we're not? They saw themselves in that video. Today I wanted to have them see us and how we played and how we passed and the plays we made and the hard plays we made. Reed shot against Mississippi State. I mean, there were other plays. Arkansas, I didn't realize they had us down at home late. I'm watching, I'm thinking, oh yeah, we blew out Arkansas. What? They were up 8 late. And we came back and made play after play. The other guy I saw that looked really good on there was Aaron. And I told Aaron, you do exactly what I told Reed to do. If I take you out because you're not getting rebounds, you just say, Coach, stick with me. And then I'm going to put you right back in the game. You tell me that, because he looked good on the tape. Like, we're that guy from being like, woo.
Cal, you asked the players right before the bracket started getting revealed to raise their hand or say something if this is a moment they've dreamed about their whole lives. Obviously, the whole room lights up. What is it like for you to keep sharing moments like that with this team in particular?
Well, most of my teams are so young. I've had older teams, different places that I've been, that it was more like, we're like, all right, next, let's go, keep marching. This and the teams here, it's kind of exciting. Sometimes you're like disgusted with the draw, like why would they do that? And other times you're like, you know what, this is going to be hard, but there are a lot of hard ones. I can't ever remember saying we got an easy road, ever, never. So, but to see them and how they were so excited. All of them sent texts about playing for us and being in this situation and going in. They're excited about this, just like they were excited about that tournament. They were. But this is how it played out. Fate intervened. You know what? Let's go.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Everyone good? Open us straight to questions.
Rob, your first selection show, I imagine you probably grew up watching some of those. What was it like sitting there and seeing where you were going to go?
It was definitely exciting. It was just a crazy moment because you always remember this moment of the one time you really just got the experience and you always dreamed of it as a kid. So it was exciting for sure, and I'm just ready to play.
To piggyback off that, Antonio, your last one, what were kind of the emotions going through your head watching you guys get selected?
Man, dream come true. Get another shot at it from last year. Definitely going to be ready this year, and I feel like we got the team for it. So definitely excited to be out there and try to give it all I got.
What did you learn from last year's experience going through that, the first NCAA tournament, and how can you kind of both tell the younger guys about it and for yourself moving forward?
That people, like, that teams are desperate, definitely. They're going to give it all they got, 100% effort, you know, the whole 40 minutes. You just can't let up. Everybody got to be dialed in to what they have to do out there. So that's why I tell the young guys, just make sure you stay focused the whole 40 minutes.
Rob, you've waited your whole life for this moment where you've watched TV for years and see things. What are your emotions now that you know who you play, where you go, and what do you start to think about being a first-timer in this situation?
I mean, I'm just happy because I feel like we can beat any team. So it's really was just exciting to see where we get to place. But really, what's going through my head now is like it don't matter who we play. I feel like we got a chance to win and we can pull it out.
What have you all thought about after the SEC tournament? I'm sure you've had time to go back and watch a little bit of video or something. What do you take away from what you watched after that game?
Just defensive struggles, rebounding, but that team played one of the best games of the year. They shot 50%, and they've been shooting 28% the whole year. So that was one of their better games, so you can't really dwell on one game. We just dwell on what we've been doing the whole season.
Antonio, how do you look at this one? This is you're a senior. This is kind of your last shot at this deal.
Just stay focused. Been doing what I've been doing the whole year. You know, young guys, they've been really good every day, and you know that's going to lead up to the tournament, and you know that's how we're going to make a run. Just you know, just the build up that we have as a team, and you know the struggles that we face. You know, it's just going to all pull through.
Obviously, Cal talked to you guys after you saw the bracket, but before you came out here. What was his message to the team today?
As in here?
Yeah.
You got this one. I don't know.
He basically,
I don't know.
He's basically just telling us to do what we do, and like we can't worry about other teams. We worry about us. If we play our game, we watched our highlights. So when we play our game, it's really not teams that can really play as good as us. But when we play a game and let them force us to play another way, that's when we lose. But when we play our game, we rarely lose.
What about going to Pittsburgh? The connections there with Trey and Adu and Coach Cal.
Oh yeah, that's all their home. So I feel like it's meant to be.
Rob, obviously you guys got to play Oakland first and see how things go. But NC State's in that bracket. Did you notice that at all, or have any extra excitement given the history there?
Yeah, I saw it, but not really no extra excitement. Basketball games.
Rob, even though you've gotten to this point, you see what a selection Sunday's like. What do you look for from the veterans like Antonio to prepare for the tournament now?
I really just say like motivating everybody and really bringing everyone together, because even though like we're younger guys, like they have more experience, so they should know like to help us get more intact and be more focused. So I say just like really motivating us and having things to say to help that they think will help the younger guys and all of us just play our best for sure.
Antonio, how much thought have you given to like what kind of legacy you'll leave here, and how much do you think a good tournament run will shape that?
I haven't really thought about the legacy. I've just been really just playing basketball, taking it one game at a time, and just trying to figure out what we need to do for the tournament. To be honest, I haven't really thought about no legacy or anything like that, but you know, a run will really, you know, shake things up for us, and I'm hoping we have a good run.
For either of you, did you guys used to fill out brackets when maybe you guys were younger? And maybe what's your favorite or first memory of, you know, March Madness, crazy buzzer beaters, and things like that?
I say just 2012 Kentucky team. You know, I was watching some of them games, and you know, just everybody was, you know, locked in to trying to win each game, and that's what I really remember about it.
What about you, Rob?
My brackets were always wrong. Yeah, but now my favorite memory is definitely like UConn team with Kemba Walker and how they was losing at the end of their season and then came into the tournament and won all the games. So I feel like that's similar to what we could do. So that's one of my favorite moments for sure.
Do you feel like you've got a few guys on this team that can maybe pull off a Kimba type run, both of you included?
Yeah, I feel like we got more than a few guys. So
yeah, definitely.
If we lock in and we trust each other and we really want to win, we can do it. But if we don't trust each other, it won't happen.
Rob, for you guys, what does lock in mean?
I would say just like understanding where we're at and the like opportunity we have, because like sometimes you just get caught up in the moment. It's just too much. But like when you sit there and actually understand where you're at and where you got like what you've had to go through to get there, I feel like that's capturing the moment and that's locking in and understanding so you can perform to the best of your ability.
Does it mean more on the offensive end or the defensive end?
I'd say the defensive end for us, but
the whole game. Honestly, it's just basketball. So really the game, not just particularly one thing.
I got one more question, guys. Trying to maybe mess with y'all behind you, but talking with Coach Cal downstairs, talking for a few of your teammates before coming up here. How you guys kind of feeling? I know you guys probably think you guys can go far, but how's the team feeling, especially after the last couple of days?
I think we feel confident, honestly. I feel like every time we've lost, we've always came back with a bang. So I feel like a loss isn't just going to hurt our confidence or anything. So I feel like the only thing we should feel is confident.
I say the same thing, just confident. You know, we learn from our mistakes really fast. You know, even though we're young, we still understand, you know, a loss and, you know, just coming back with, you know, revenge at the end of the day. So I feel like we did a really good job at that.
Rob, have you had a chance to kind of reflect on your season, how your role is developed, and you know, just how when you come in the game, you know, you're focused right away, and you kind of get to the role that that you're expected to play?
Yeah, I feel like just the role I played this year has helped me overall. It's just like a person and a basketball player, because I'm always ready to play. I always got to come in and be ready to play because we got guys that can play in front of me. So I just feel like the whole season is like it was meant to be for me, and it helped me a lot overall.
Anything else for the guys?
Oh, I think it's the first time we've seen you since, you kind of went viral. Were you nervous when Drake called you up on stage?
I was definitely a little nervous. I'm just kind of shy, so yeah, I was a little nervous for sure.
Thanks, guys.